Hi and welcome to Movies Suck. Today we're going to have a look at this news about Spider-Man. It says Marvel's Kevin Feige says Spider-Man was never meant to last forever in the MCU. Which is a rather strange statement when you consider this. But let's read on a little bit further. It says, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has opened up about the future of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, following the news that Disney and Sony have failed to reach a new financial deal regarding the films. Unless a deal is reached, it is unlikely that Tom Holland will appear in any further MCU films as Spider-Man, while further MCU characters will also not be able to appear in any of his Spider-Man films. Speaking to EW at Disney's D23 Expo this weekend, Feige has now addressed the situation, explaining that Spider-Man in the MCU was never meant to last forever. That's a curious statement when they've spent these last couple of films showing Spider-Man as being like a protege of Iron Man. And then the last one, Spider-Man Far From Home, where they showed him as taking over from Iron Man in his role as the leader of the Avengers and the leader of basically all this stuff. Which is a strange situation for a guy that's probably not going to be there very long. Unless he was intending that maybe Spider-Man 3 would show Spider-Man handing over the reins to someone who was more suitable for the job. Someone more like Captain Fantastic, maybe. And this Spider-Man 3 was going to show him handing over the reins to someone a bit more suitable for the job. Since Spider-Man is like a small town kind of guy, isn't he? They keep trying to force him into these really big things where he's having to spend all that time with all the other Avengers and things, which is great. No one's going to complain about that, but he's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He feels like he should be hanging around his own streets, which happened in the original 3 Sony Spider-Man films. They were great films. Well, okay, Spider-Man 3 wasn't a great film, but had there not been a lot of messing around from the studio and trying to introduce too many villains, it could have been a great film. So that's for what could have been. And if what could be is Spider-Man 4 from that original series, that would be fantastic, but that's not going to happen, is it? We've got Tom Holland now, and I guess we've got him to stay for a while. He's doing okay as Spider-Man. I don't hate him. He's not like the quirky, quippy kind of Spider-Man that everyone's used to, which is a shame, but he's doing okay. He seemed to riff better with Iron Man, and that seemed to work better for him than the Spider-Man Far From Home film, but you'll see what happens. And it seems like he's not going to be going back to the MCU for a while. Apparently, the discussions between Sony and Marvel are ongoing, so whilst this is the current news, this could change very quickly. They might suddenly come to an agreement in the next week and Spider-Man's back in the MCU, all this is forgotten, and things carry on as usual and everyone's happy. Although, it will be interesting to see a Spider-Man Venom crossover though. Let's hope we get that. Anyway, Kevin Feige says, Spider-Man in the MCU was never meant to last forever. I'm feeling about Spider-Man gratitude and joy, he said. We got to make 5 films within the MCU with Spider-Man, 2 standalone films and 3 with the Avengers. It was a dream that I never thought would happen. It was never meant to last forever. And yet, here we are as the protege of Iron Man and being hoisted up onto a pedestal to take his place. Curious, eh? We knew there was a finite amount of time that we'd be able to do this, and we told the story we wanted to tell, and I'll always be thankful for that. So the story they wanted to tell finished in Spider-Man Far From Home? Is that what he really believes? No, this is just corporate speak. They're just trying to play hardball with Sony to try and get Sony to have a bit more leeway. And maybe it's going to work. Maybe there's going to be news this week. We'll see. Sony, which owns the film rights to the arachnid superhero, and Disney, which has the rights to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, made a deal several years ago that enabled Spider-Man to appear in the MCU. And Tom Holland's version of the character first appeared in Captain America Civil War 2016. However, after the success of Spider-Man Far From Home this summer, Disney reportedly asked to make changes to the financial arrangement between the studios, which Sony did not agree to. Actor Tom has also spoken about the future of his character, assuring fans that he will carry on in the role no matter what. Well, he's not going to pass up a cash cow like this, is he? Yeah, well, Spider-Man's out of the MCU now. I don't think I fancy doing it anymore, Sony. Sorry about that. Here's $20 million. How about now? Yeah, well, I guess we could do one more. It says, it's been 5 amazing years. I've had the time of my life, he said. Who knows what the future holds? Well, the future holds more Spider-Man films for him. Whether they're involved with MCU, we will find out. All I know is I'm going to continue playing Spider-Man and having the time of my life. It's going to be so fun, however we choose to do it. The future for Spider-Man will be different, but it will be equally as awesome and amazing, and we'll find new ways to make it even cooler, like crossovers with Venom and Black Cat and things like that, I assume. Fellow Marvel star Jon Favreau, who plays ally to Iron Man and Spider-Man, Happy Hogan, has also said he is cautiously hopeful that a deal can still be reached. It's still early days, and as a fan, I'm cautiously hopeful that something will come together, because I think that all fans want to see those characters together, he said. As a fan, I'm hopeful that, cautiously optimistic, holding out hope that this isn't the final chapter of that story. And honestly, I'm not convinced it is the final chapter. I'm sure Sony really want to go it alone and keep all the profit for themselves, but should they be able to come to a reasonable deal with Marvel, I'm sure they'd be glad to keep it all together. But we will see. As ever, this is Movie Sucks signing out. Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will catch you guys on the flip side.